news, everyone!
Oh. Yeah, if you guys do ever have anything you want me to talk about, make sure you hit up the Discord. There's a channel called the Kids News Corner, and you can drop whatever articles you would like me to talk about. Let's go ahead and jump into this first one. It is a trailer for Nosferatu. There is a remake that is coming out this year. Let's take a look, and then I'll have a few words after that.
Come to me. Come to me. Hear my call. Come to me. Professor, my dreams grow darker. Does evil come from within us or from beyond?
He is coming.
He is coming.
He is coming to us.
He's coming.
Who is coming to you, my child? We are here encountering the vampire. Nosferatu.
Goodness. Yeah, it's gonna be wild. So I believe, yeah, it's being done by Robert Eggers, who I believe is the same guy who did The Lighthouse. And if you've ever seen that movie is wild. It is all over the place. Really, really good. But this looks crazy Christmas. Did Nosferatu before? I don't think so. Although he does look like he could have been. So I did a little bit of research, and it was really hard to tell. But Nosferatu was definitely one of the first vampire movies that was ever shown. But there's some debate on if it was the first vampire movie. I just know it was definitely one of like the most popular, vampire movies, and people said a lot of the times maybe one of the first horror movies. So it's cool to see that there's like a remake being done, and if it's being done correctly, it could be very cool. There was a shot in here that was really, really good that I liked. I just wanted to see if I could find it, just to do a little highlight of it, It was this one, and it's hard to tell. It's a big hand kind of doing the shadow over the over the city. Crazy stuff. Let's jump into this next one. I saw this last week, and I wasn't really sure if anybody's going to be interested. And then Cyclo posted it in the Discord and was like, "Yeah, man, I'm interested." So this is a trailer for a game that is being shortened to PVKK. There is like a very long name. I think it's at the end of the trailer. It's all over the place, but the trailer is very, very interesting. I watched it and I was like, this looks cool. Could be very fun. Could also be something. Not sure. But let's take a look, and maybe you guys will find it interesting as well. Hold on a second. Let me just back it up here. Can someone tell me what this says? Yeah, please and thank you. That is the full name of the game. Yeah, I did the same thing. I was like, oh man, this music is so nice. And then it just kind of seems like it's kind of going off the rails. So it seems like you're like some kind of it's like a big gun, like a stationary gun tech. So I think you're firing it, but you're also doing some things. So there's like some daily maintenance that you're doing with it, and you're reading or watching videos or something. There's a whole thing, and then at some point the game is gonna make a turn and stuff. I was like, this looks pretty good. I definitely need to put it on the wish list. Let me yeah. So I know you're right about what you said it is. I just wanted to hear how you say it though.
Planetenverteidigungskanonen-Kommandant.
Yeah, Planet Defense Cannon Commander. Yo, what's happening, Cyclo? Yeah, for real though, this looks like a lot of fun. I'm glad that Cyclo put it in there. Here's one that's a little close to home right now. Apparently there's a new Superman movie coming out. I didn't really know. I was like, I mean, obviously there's probably a new Superman, but I didn't realize like we were this close to a new Superman kind of movie coming out. But my home state of Ohio is being the one that is picked for being at least somewhat of Metropolis. That's right, guys. Not real newspaper, not real place. Maybe. So apparently Cleveland was chosen as the place that they're going to film at least some of the new Superman movie. That's right. This is me. Who reads newspaper anymore? Well, come on, bro. I mean, listen, why are you pointing this out? Why you're taking the wrong part of this? Do you not understand? Ohio, my dude. Because when I think Metropolis, I think Cleveland. I mean, I don't know shit about Metropolis, so I don't know if that's a slight or not. You know, it could be. You know what it actually is? Ohio ain't real, I heard. Nah, well, you've heard right. You know what it actually is, Cyclo? And anybody else who would be interested. So Ohio is just really cheap to film because I think we're just asking for people to be here. If I'm being honest, listen, I love Ohio, but I think if I'm being honest, we're like, please, if you would like to film here, we make it very cheap. All right, let me get into this next one, because this one, so apparently this has been a big thing going on because last week Elden Ring dropped their new DLC, and people have been feeling like it is a little bit too hard. It's been making me laugh so much because people have legitimately started to rate the game lower on Steam because they feel like it's too difficult. I don't know what you expect out of Elden Ring, but if it wasn't difficulty, then I don't know why would you? And the thing is, all right, so if this wasn't what you were expecting, that's crazy, because you've also had to play a good chunk of the actual game to get to the DLC. How did you not realize this is a game of difficulty? I am so shocked. Like, I've seen people be like, oh, it is more difficult than the base game, but I'm okay with it. I enjoy the challenge. But people complaining about it so much that they're like giving it bad reviews, mind-blowing to me. Yo, Vash, what's happening, dude? It gets to a point of where I'm like, what is happening? What did you expect from this game? These games are notoriously hard. There's a reason I don't play them, because I don't want to put myself through that. I watched somebody beat the entire thing over the weekend, which is crazy. It took them 60 hours. I watched them play it over the weekend. And in their last boss fight, there's no spoilers, anything like that. The last boss fight took them 200 plus attempts. And they complained, but they didn't complain in the point that they were like, this is too hard. What the fuck is this? Oh, it's 60 hours. It took them 60 hours. Hanging in there, about to go sand walls. Ew, that sounds terrible. Oh, DLC. Yeah, so I might not be, like I said, the game specifically might not be 60 hours, but to do some of the fights, I think, and to get them down and everything, it took them about 60 hours. I take that back. They also did some sleeping and stuff in between some of the gaming and stuff. So it's probably not actually 60 hours. It's probably closer to like 40 or 50. The Valkyrie Queen. Yeah, exactly. But there was a couple of bosses that were like that were legitimately difficult. And you know what? That's just what you sign up for in that game. I think Miyazaki even said something about like that they were pushing some of the boundaries of what they expected people to put up with. And apparently some people were like, nope, it's too much. I have seen like there's also a part of this that says like some of this is performance issues as well, which, listen, fair enough. If you have performance issues, I get it. But the difficulty is the thing I've seen. I've not seen anybody talking about the performance. I've seen only people talking about the difficulty. I've actually even found a clip that he sent to me of a streamer, a big streamer as well, that was saying, I'm not gonna play this because I don't really want to, because it's too difficult. And I'm like, bro, what did you expect? It's mind-blowing to me, like I said, that you would go into a game that is known for being very difficult and then think that it was that was something wasn't going to that it wasn't going to be difficult. I don't, making it feel harder. So from what I've seen, a lot of the bosses are very quick and they're pretty relentless. But with every Souls game, as you learn the patterns, you kind of are able to adapt. But I think people are just realizing like that these ones are pushing them a little harder than some of the other ones, giving them a little less time to kind of, heal and some of that stuff. I think it's just they're just making them hit harder and move faster, giving people less time, and it's there. And some of it I think is a little bit unpredictable attacks and stuff. But I think I saw somebody grind through it and beat it. And I've seen some other people who are big in the Souls games and stuff also be able to go through and be like, oh, this was pretty cool. I liked this. I don't know what it is that is making them feel like this. So let me read a little bit of this article. The DLC's extreme and intended difficulty has sparked a debate amongst the right and wrongs of developer FromSoft's approach with the Elden Ring expansion. But now the debate has spilled over into Steam reviews, user reviews, which currently have a mixed rating after a flood of complaints about the rock-hard bosses, as well as PC performance issues. Again, performance issues, I get. But, if it's just because the game is hard, like, bro, get good. Ahead of Shadow of the Erdtree's release, director Miyazaki signaled the DLC would significantly test players' abilities. The new challenges for players are going to be the boss encounters, as well as the different kinds of threats that the world will impose on people. Some of these bosses are aimed at players who've completed most of the base Elden Ring, meaning FromSoft has kind of really pushed the envelope in terms of what we think can be withstood by the players. And so it has proved. Over the weekend, players began to complain about the extreme difficulty with bosses and performance issues. As a huge fan of all Souls game, I would love to like the DLC, but the enemy damages are completely overtuned, especially for some bosses. Some have a completely erratic moveset, rendering the whole experience just painful without any fun. I think that is 100% true. Vash is saying that when in any game gets big enough, people who don't play those games start to check those games out. And for Souls games, Elden Ring has become one of the biggest of all of those games. And people who don't play Souls games played it. And now they're realizing, oh, this is really fucking hard. Paramount Plus is raising its prices starting in August. As reported by Variety, beginning August 20th, Paramount Plus will increase its price of its ad-supported Essential plan from $6 to $8 per month, which is a $2 increase. The ad-free tier, Paramount Plus with Showtime plan, will increase by $1 from $12 to $13 per month. Those with Legacy Paramount Plus limited commercial plans will see a $1 increase, bringing the monthly fee to $8. So I just don't really use Paramount Plus that much. I use Paramount Plus like twice a year when Survivor's on. We get Paramount Plus for a little bit, and then we watch Survivor. And then when it's done, we cancel it and the cycle continues. So I just want to make sure that I brought this up. It's one of the ones these kind of articles I don't get to bring to you guys all the time, and it's been a little while. I figured we should go ahead, let me bring this one to you guys, let you guys know what's happening. The last thing I'm going to go over real quick is just, it's kind of a weirdly gross topic that's kind of been making the rounds over the last couple of days, and I just figured I'd go over it real quick. I don't know all the details. I'm going to try and just go over what the article has. So I don't know. We'll just get into it, and we'll kind of see where we're at. So Dr. Disrespect is a streamer who used to be on Twitch, but was at one point banned permanently from Twitch. And there was some speculation at the time. I think it was like a couple years ago about why he had gotten banned, and there was a whole big thing, and it was never really talked about. So over the weekend, essentially, like, somebody tweeted out about like why the ban happened, and they were alleging at the time that it was because he was using the whisper function on Twitch to sext a minor. He kind of very quickly was like, no, that's not what happened. There's a whole bunch of other things. All this to kind of come back to at some point he kind of came back around to confirming that was actually what happened. So I figure let's go over what the story says, and maybe it'll be some more information. It's such a weird, it's been a whole weird set of events that have just kind of transpired over the last couple of days. And I don't know much about this guy, Dr. Disrespect. I've seen him, like his look is very iconic. and not always the best way. I don't completely understand it. Guy's got a very specific look. So Herschel Guy Beam, the popular streamer known as Dr. Disrespect, has confirmed previous allegations that Twitch has banned him in 2020 for exchanging messages with a minor. Very funny for sure. Have you ever seen any of his stuff? I don't think I've ever really seen much of his stuff. I feel like a couple of the things I've seen is just him. Like, he always seemed like he was playing like a character of like a super macho kind of guy. Was big into him? Oh, okay. Were there Twitch whisper messages with an individual minor back in 2017? The answer is yes. He wrote on Tuesday on Twitter. There were real intentions behind these messages. The answer is absolutely. Were there real intentions behind these messages? The answer is absolutely not. These were casual, mutual conversations that sometimes leaned too much into the direction of being inappropriate. but nothing more. At the time of publication, Beam has edited his tweet on Twitter twice. The article quotes the original version of the statement he published. The past 2 weeks, or the past weekend, 2 Twitch employees had come forward on Twitter on June 22nd and one to Verge on June 23rd to claim that Beam had been banned from the platform after using a Twitch DM feature called Whispers to exchange messages with a minor. After the news broke, Midnight Society, a game development studio Beam had co-founded, announced that it had terminated its relationship with the streamer. On Tuesday, Beam shared a lengthy statement which he which was quoted above as his official Twitter account that described his side of the story. So essentially, like, it sounds like, you know, over the weekend, the allegations were like, hey, this is why he was banned back in 2020, which is crazy that it's coming out 4 years ago or 4 years later. And he was like, you guys need to shut up. Like, apparently he was suing Twitch over this whole thing, and he was like, you guys don't know what's going on. I can't talk about it. There's legal obligations. And then it's kind of been more and more like of a big thing, like a big push or whatever. And so he's kind of came back out again and said like, hey, there was no wrongdoing found at the time. You know, Twitch paid my whole contract. You know, I'm in the free and clear here. Which then this game company he co-founded dropped him, and it was kind of like this whole thing, like where he was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna step back from streaming for a little bit. And then he made this big statement, and from what I understand, like I think another like sponsor or something has dropped him since, but he's very much saying like, yes, there was some messages, but there was no intent behind these messages, which is weird and also still very creepy, my dude. So I don't know what's going to kind of happen, but it seems like there's a lot going on right now. And again, it's just kind of a big thing that's happening. So I figured I wanted to talk about it. If there's anything that kind of comes out over the next couple of days, we'll definitely talk about it on Thursday. And if not, you know, if there's something later on, we'll definitely catch up again about it. But just interesting to see. That is going to go ahead and do it for the news for today. Thank you guys so much for coming out, and I will see y'all on the other side.